हमारे साथ जुड़े रहने के लिए हमारे YouTube चैनल को सब्सक्राइब करें, साथ ही बेल आइकन को दबाएं। नेटवर्क न्यूज की खबरें सबसे पहले देखने के लिए।
Student, and during these 45 years, I have spent a decade in the medical college doing my graduation and post-graduation. I have spent a decade working for the Delhi Medical Association and the Indian Medical Association. A decade as a minister in Delhi government and the union government, and many years in the World Health Organization as an advisor. During these 45 years, I have won over a dozen awards for my contribution to the field of health in national as well as international awards. Sir, and after having got the experience of the exposure of the healthcare delivery system of the country, sir, I can say with utmost confidence and utmost sincerity at my command that this bill that I have brought about and which has already been passed by Lok Sabha is the biggest reform of recent times in the field of medical education, which has been brought with the blessings of our Prime Minister Narendra Modi, and today will always be written in golden letters in the history of medical education of this country. Sir, just to give you a brief idea, the history of Medical Council and the medical education regulation, it started in 1933 when the Medical Council Act was made for the first time, and stalwarts and most respected leaders of the country, Bharat Ratna, Dr. B.C. Roy and many others, they gave exemplary contributions for strengthening the medical education and improving and controlling the medical education system in the initial years. A new look MCI was created in 1956 when a provision for creating registers and creation of new medical colleges and many things were added. And then, sir, when we saw in the country that there was an increase in the number of private medical colleges, and also there was a system for inspection of the private medical colleges to give them recognition. In the last 2-3 decades, we saw that the Medical Council of India got plagued with corruption. There were so many complaints against Medical Council of India. There were stories about during the beginning of this 21st century, we heard stories about income tax rates against MCI officials. We saw the Supreme Court intervening and appointing a group of administrators. And in 2010, when there were stories about the arrest of the MCI officials, this House itself witnessed a call attention motion in which all the members of this House had expressed very grave concerns about Medical Council of India's functioning, and the then Union Health Minister, who is the leader of opposition right now, respected Shri Ghulam Nabi Azad ji, had also expressed his concern about this field, and he had promised to this House that some good quality remedial measures will be undertaken. A board of governors was then appointed and it superseded the MCI at that time. Again in 2013, the MCI was recreated. And then, sir, in 2014 came Prime Minister Narendra Modi at the helm of affairs, and a new paradigm for zero tolerance to corruption started in the country. That was the time when the complaints against Medical Council were at their peak, and a committee under Professor Ranjit Rai Chaudhary was appointed by the government in July 2014 itself. Professor Ranjit Rai Chaudhary was one of the most distinguished intellectual of the medical field and also a great health planner. And it was at the same time, almost at the same time, that the department-related Parliamentary Standing Committee of Health, CO Moto, took notice of this issue, and they also started deliberating about the functioning of the Medical Council of India. Sir, these two reports of Professor Ranjit Rai Chaudhary and the department-related Parliamentary Standing Committee, they are full of the strongest possible words about indictment of the MCI of that time. I wish I had the time to read some excerpts from this, but to save upon time, I will not, because when there was a discussion in this House on the Medical Council of India Amendment Bill, I had read many of those things here in this House itself. At that time, it was some of the, almost everybody had agreed that MCI was plagued with corruption. Some of the members had even raised doubts about the intention of the government to bring this National Medical Commission bill. Somebody had asked us about why there is a delay and all that. And sir, once these reports, Professor Ranjit Rai Chaudhary Committee had recommended that the National Medical Commission bill should be tabled, it should be framed, and then this thing was also endorsed by the Parliamentary Standing Committee on Health. And at that time in 2016, the Prime Minister had appointed the Vice Chairman of Niti Aayog to draft the National Medical Commission bill, which was brought to Parliament in Lok Sabha. And then from Lok Sabha, it was referred again to the department-related Parliamentary Standing Committee. And they gave us 56 suggestions. On record, I wish to say that out of those 56 suggestions, 40 have been fully accepted, 7 have been partially accepted, 9 have not been accepted. And now, as promised to both the houses during the debate on the Medical Council Amendment Bill, I come to you with the National Medical Commission Bill, which has already been passed by the Lok Sabha. Sir, this bill is aimed at rapid expansion of medical seats while maintaining quality of medical education and reducing the cost of medical education. The need is to spur investment in the medical education sector by simplifying procedures and focusing on outcomes instead. It is not in any way meant to inconvenience students, but to facilitate provision of better quality of education to more and more students at reasonable fees. The NMC bill seeks to put in place a new structure to tackle the challenges in medical education effectively. Sir, it has a board which has 25 members. It has the National Medical Commission has 25 members, out of which 21 are doctors. It has an advisory council which has representation from all states, almost 72 representations from 36 from state medical councils and 36 from the vice chancellors, as vice chancellors of the health universities, apart from the members of the NMC.
आप देख रहे हैं नेट्रिक न्यूज, साहस सच कहने का।